To make our apple turnovers, we're going to make a quick puff pastry. So your flours, your salt, and some of your butters in the mixer. Going to go ahead and work that butter in until it completely disappears. Now you're going to stream in your water that's mixed with a little bit of lemon juice. You're going to go slow, just incorporating the liquids with the flours. Going to mix it just until it starts to come together into a scraggly kind of a dough. Finish mixing it a little bit by hand. Don't overwork it, you'll make it tough. Going to add all of your butter in there. You want your butter to be really cold 1-inch cubes, and you want to toss it around just to get it pretty much throughout the entire dough, but you're not trying to work that butter and you want to leave it in large chunks. Going to get ready to do our first turn on the dough. Put it on your work surface with a little bit of bench flour. And with your hands, start to bring it together so it kind of holds together, but you don't want to overwork it. You overwork it, you can develop too much gluten, tough dough. So, little flour if it's needed, but try to be very judicious with that extra flour. Using your rolling pin, go back and forth and pat the dough out into a rectangle. It's a little too broken to be able to roll yet, so you just want to keep this process going with patting it down until it feels like it's pretty much one piece and you can start to roll. When you're rolling, you want to keep a rectangle, a long, thin rectangle. As you're rolling, stop and give it a little zhuzh, a little love. Beautiful. You're going to do your first double turn. So you're going to pull the top down to the center, the bottom up to the center, dust off any excess flour if there is, and do one more turn. It's your book turn or your double turn. Spine of the book is going to go to your left-hand side, and you're going to do your second turn. All together, you're going to do 3 double turns on this dough. As long as the dough is cool enough throughout the entire process, you can keep going. If it starts to get too warm on you and sticky, go ahead and stick it in the fridge for a half an hour. Make sure the dough's not sticking as you roll. You want to roll it long enough that you can be able to complete the double turn. If the dough starts to stick to your rolling pin, go ahead and put a little bit of bench flour on the pin or on the dough as you need it, but be careful, just don't use more than you need to. This is a rough puff pastry, so we don't need the layers to be absolutely perfect here. So don't worry too much about the technique, you'll still have a great dough. Any spot that you have butter poking through, tap it with a little bit of flour. Go ahead and repeat this process one more time. Starting to get going on our filling. I have a bunch of apples that are peeled. Use whichever ones you like as long as they're not Macintosh. I'm going to add some sugar to there and your spice mix. Whatever warming spices you like will be great. Don't forget to pinch of salt. We're going to cook these until they have gotten rid of most of their liquid and have cooked down a lot. We don't want that liquid seeping out of our final turnovers. Here's our dough. Ready to go. We're going to roll this dough out nice and thinly, about 1/8 of an inch altogether. Try to keep it as a rectangle so you can get as many pieces out of it as possible. Use as much bench flour as you need to keep the dough from sticking, but not more than you need. I have this awesome bicycle cutter which cuts a whole bunch of pieces at once. You can use a sharp knife or a pizza wheel. These are 4-inch squares. I'm going to use egg wash on 2 consecutive edges of each piece, and I'm going to top it with my cooked filling. Then I'm going to pick one up and I'm going to fold one side that doesn't have egg wash over towards the side that does. Pinch, try to get all the air out of there so the air doesn't explode later. Pinch and seal all the edges. Use a fork to seal the edges more securely. And then go ahead and put it on the tray. You're going to poke a small hole in each one to be able to let the steam escape, and then you're going to brush each one with egg wash. Now you're going to sprinkle the top with a little bit of sugar. You can use white sugar. I just happen to have some demerara, so I'm going to go ahead and use that.